What is going on, YouTube? It's Dynasty Buffs. Football Sundays today. Got you a week 3 start sit with top 10 fantasy defensive boom or bust picks. Alright, let's get into it. I'm sure you guys already seen the updates on the injury reports and everything, but looks like Christian Watson's out, Aaron Jones is out, and looks like they're going to play a safe game. I guess this week I think the Green Bay Packers might think they can win without them. So I guess it's a fire up Jaden Reed. I don't want to say fire up A.J. Dillon. He hasn't been very good, but you should see the majority of the carries. Should be a solid pickup. Could start him in as your flex this week. Maybe give you an 8 to 9 points. Some more injury updates as well. Things to monitor. Joe Burrow looks like he's might be a game time decision on Monday. Some guys you could pick up still would be, Matt Stafford, Baker Mayfield, maybe a roll of the dice. You have to start somebody today. I know Geno Smith. I've seen him be on waivers. Jared Goff and some others. Jalen Waddle looks like he's out as well. Montgomery out, so it looks like it's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs day as well. I actually have moved him up in my rankings. He should be maybe a top 8, top 5 running back this week based on reports of him getting the majority of the carries. Brandon Cook is still out. DJ Chark injury. Myers looks like he's going to play today. I have him on my Scott Fishbowl. I'm starting him as well. What's up, dude? If you got any questions, feel free to ask them in the chat. I'll answer them. All right. Looks like, JT should be coming back next week. Austin Eckler's out. Looks like Joshua Kelly should have a nice matchup this week. I actually have him in my, top 10 this week. We'll get to our rankings here soon. Richardson's also out. Could be a nice game for Pittman. And the wide receivers might get a bump today. Let's see what else. Zach Moss should be also the guy today as well. Should be a top 25 running back. Mark Andrews is playing. Bryce Young is out as well. How comfortable are you starting for this week? Not at all. That Titans defense is legit. They're top 1. I talked about him later. I talked about him in the waiver ads. He'd be a short-term ad this week. Don't think he's going to be anything going forward. I think maybe it's going to be him and Kareem Hunt splitting a lot of the work. But if you're in a PPR format, I think Hunt might be the guy that you want. The defense for the Titans this week is going to be tough. The Browns will be relying a lot on Deshaun Watson today. All right, some boom or bust that I've done on week 2 recap and the outlook for the week. So these are just things I hit on: Goff, Jones, Richardson, Love, Bijan. Just keeping myself honest with last week's boom or bust. I did fairly well this time with the quarterbacks. Did fairly well with the receivers. Did decent on running backs. Kind of struggled, so I'm gonna try to bounce back this week. And I really try to hammer these running back rankings and these boom or bust picks. So I was wrong. I was totally messed up on. I know Henry did well. I apologize to everybody if I said start Breece Hall. My pick. I mean, they had to use him. Only 4 carries is ridiculous. Pacheco, he also struggled. Cook, actually, I like him, but I didn't think he'd get 15.2. I'm actually starting him this week. Russell Wilson was surprising. Their offense has been actually pretty good so far. I'd be interested to see what they do today against the Dolphins. Marquise Brown, Tutu Atwell, Sky Moore. Sky Moore, I guess, looks like a wide receiver too. Looks like Kelsey will be back. Helps him out quite a bit. Spreads out the offense and gives them more opportunities. And Fields, man, I don't know what's going to happen with the Chicago Bears this week and going forward. Pretty rough. I thought he could get 19 with the rushing. He didn't do that. But, DJ Moore did look good as well. All right, so some Vegas odds for today and this week. I don't know why I didn't change Tampa Bay, Philadelphia to Monday. I changed that on my rankings. I don't know. I forgot. Yes, I did do it here. All right, so it looks like Detroit should be winning. Minnesota, Green Bay, Jacksonville, Miami, Cleveland, Bills, Baltimore, New England, Seahawks, Kansas City, Dallas, Vegas, and Philly, and Cincinnati. I'm sure that's probably changed now. It depends. I think it's probably closer to one here against the Cincinnati and Rams game. Maybe even one minus one of the Rams now. Some good matchups should be for quarterbacks, running backs, all the positions. Should be a nice outing for either Jacksonville today. Should be good for as well as Seattle and Dallas. As we get to our rankings, and I'll talk about the odds as well. All right, let's get to these rankings because we're starting up the nice Sunday morning here. All right, Pat Mahomes, he's got a nice week. He should be very solid against the soft Chicago Bears. If you have Mahomes, he's going to be your guy this week, and he should carry you, maybe your entire roster. I can see him getting even 30 today. He's got a good matchup. Hurts has a good one. Lamar. Tua, I think, should surprise people today against Denver. I have him in my top 5 this week. Lawrence should be solid against Houston. I might be too low on Trevor Lawrence this week. He could be even better. Calvin Ridley I have pretty high this week. We have Josh Allen. Should be decent against Washington. I'm curious about what happens because I know the Washington defense is top 10. That'd be pretty solid. Kirk Cousins should maybe have a shootout this week with Justin Herbert. Herbert, I'm very high on this week, and as well as Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. Spread says it should be a good game. Tyreek Hill as well, Miami. I think Deshaun Watson actually might surprise some people this week. See what happens. They have to rely on him today. I don't know. They have to rely on him because the Tennessee defense is very, very good against the run. It's about averaging his pass, and they got to use Deshaun Watson, Amari Cooper, Njoku, and Elijah Moore today. They have to. Prescott, I don't know about Prescott. He could have a good game, but I think it's going to be a majority of the running again. So I think Pollard would be a top 3 running back this week. Let's see. We've got some pickups that you could do, right? Some guys on your waivers that you might have to pick up in case Joe Burrow is out. I actually didn't even rank him because I think he's gonna be out. Let's see. I think I put a 0 on him. Yeah. I don't know if you guys seen the video on Jamar Chase. He was saying that, I don't think Joey's gonna start. I really don't. I told him in the preseason, don't play unless you're fully healthy. So I stand by what I said, and that's what I said. All right, so now we got, let's see. So Baker could be a good pickup for you. Matt Stafford, maybe Sam Howell could be a nice pickup in case you got to start somebody. Maybe Russell Wilson's on waivers as well. He should have a decent matchup against the Dolphins today. Let's see. Some guys I'm sitting right now. I'm going to sit Jimmy G, Mac Jones. Mac Jones against the Jets today should be pretty tough. Dalton, I'm going to sit Andy today, and then Wilson. I'm not on. Ritter, not a fan of. Dobbs, I don't think they're going to do well against their competition today. They could be something, but I wouldn't trust them. So these are the guys I'm going with. All right, let's take a look at the running back. So it's been messy. It's been gross on the running backs right now. I never thought back 2 weeks ago already, over week 3, and Kyren Williams and Josh Kelly I'm putting in my top 10. Unreal. All right, let's take a look at this. All right, so CMC, who's my running back 1 for the week. Bijan's 2. Pollard is 3. Jacobs is 4. Jacobs has a nice matchup this week against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh has one of the worst run defenses in football. It should be a nice game. Um, Same thing with Travis Etienne. Etienne should have a nice game against Houston. Either that be on the ground or through the air, so you're going to get those receiving. Surprising one for myself, but I'm going to go with data in the gut here. I'm going to go with Kenneth Walker as a top 6 this week at 6. Should have a nice game against Carolina. I mean, might even finish in the top 5, maybe top 3. Gibbs having that 7. I mean, as much as I talk about Jahmyr Gibbs this year, now that Montgomery's out, I mean, I put him this high, but I could really see Reynolds coming in and just taking up some of the goal line work, and I don't know. So today I made a joke. Yesterday I made a joke about Campbell, their head coach, Detroit. Either we're gonna see him be Arthur Smith with Kyle Pitts, who will either absolutely hate Jahmyr Gibbs and refuse to use him, or we're gonna see him use and have it a lot like Bijan. I don't know. We'll see what head coach does. I don't know. Numbers say he should be very nice, solid pick this week. Go with him. Josh Kelly, man, he's got a nice matchup against Minnesota. I am pretty shocked at putting him here, but should have a nice week this week. Start him in your lineups this week. I know everybody was hesitant to last week. I was hesitant to put him in last week just because of the matchup. But the matchup now looks pretty good for him. Kyron, same thing, has a nice matchup. I mean, he's been top 10. I mean, he's playing Cincinnati Bengals, and that defense is just not that good. Mostert should be pretty solid as well this week. Yeah, I think I'm getting. Yeah, it should be Mostert. Mostert on Dolphins should be solid. Mixon should be a nice game as well. Again, these just picks. The one I'm really concerned about is Breece Hall here against New England. I don't know what New England's going to do. I know Bill Belichick has a history of destroying Zach Wilson, and they have to use Hall and Cook today. If they don't, then they don't stand a chance. Some other ones, I mean, I'll probably take down Aaron Jones all the way down to 0 now. A.J. Dillon, move him up maybe. One to monitor and look at is Alexander Madison. So he could have a nice matchup against that really soft Los Angeles Chargers defense. But I'm not sure if he is the guy. Now that they just picked up Cam Akers, I'm not sure what's going to happen. So he can either be top 15 running back or QB bottom 40. So I just put him here at 34. Something to talk about. It's a toss-up. Could be something, could be nothing. Yeah, him, Cam Akers, I'll have to change now. But them two together, I don't know what's going to happen with that backfield. Jaylen Warren looks to be getting a majority of more work in as the season goes on. It might be a 50-50 split today between him and Najee Harris. I'm worried also about Stevenson this week. If you have Ramondre Stevenson, it might be tough because they're playing the Jets. So I'm not sure what's going to happen there. That's pretty much it for these. I'm feeling a lot better about the running backs this week. I should be feeling pretty good about this one. Wide receivers. This might be controversial here, but I'm going to put Puka above Ja'Marr Chase today. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow with the Bengals. I think Joey B is going to sit out. Maybe I'm wrong, but if he plays, I don't know what's going to happen. Dealing with that calf strain injury, I'm not sure if it's like a grade 1 or 2, but he could be out if I don't know. They also signed A.J. McCarron a couple days ago, and I don't know what they're going to do with Jake Browning. Browning is not good. I think he's only had completed 1 pass in his entire football career in the NFL. I don't know. But Ja'Marr Chase is generational talent, special, could be still up there, but I have him at 12. He could drop down even more to 20, something to monitor. Sorry, I'm trying my coffee as well. All right. Another guy I like this week is Olave. Olave has a nice matchup this week against Green Bay. I think he can have a touchdown, 110, 115 yards, maybe about 6, 7 receptions. Pretty solid outing for him. Ridley, another guy I like. Calvin Ridley, solid this week. Nico Collins, I'm high on this week. It looks like him and CJ Stroud are developing that connection. I actually met Nico Collins a couple years ago. He's a nice dude, great guy, out of Michigan. Great prospect coming out of college. Looks to establish himself as that alpha X receiver out there in Houston. I think he could be a top 24 wide receiver the rest of the year. Moved down Higgins as well. Zay Flowers looks like he's a nice matchup now with OBJ being injured this week. Should be a nice pick. Christian Watson, I'll probably take down all the way down now that he's out. All right, there we go. Garrett Wilson. I don't know. See what happens. He's been falling down because Zach Wilson and losing Aaron Rodgers hurt him. And the matchup this week against New England. I mean, they don't really have anybody else except Garrett Wilson on wide receivers, so he's going to get. Let's see if he's locked down this week. New England has a very good defense. Drake London, I don't know, man. He could be 20. He could be 5. He could be 2 points. I don't know what Atlanta's going to do today against Detroit. I know Detroit has a very good offense. They should be playing catch up, right? Detroit should be leading by, let's see what Vegas has. By 3. But I don't know if it's going to be a shootout and Jared Goff goes off. And Atlanta has to throw, but who knows? Jerry Jeudy, I'm not sure if he's 100% coming back from that hamstring injury. Jacoby Myers, I like. Looks like he's cleared concussion protocol. Should be a solid start in Las Vegas. He looked good week 1. I have him on Scott Fishbowl League. I'm also starting. A couple other guys I like. I think I'm going to move Thielen up as well, above Sutton. I think Thielen should have a nice week with Andy Dalton. I think he's going to force feed Dalton. I think Dalton might throw a couple of picks, but I mean, who cares? Thielen's probably the only wide receiver on that team that's actually decent. Everybody else kind of sucks. I said they have the worst wide receiver core in football. It's when the season started. Still holding out hope for Quentin Johnston. I don't know what's going to happen, but I mean, you could throw in some other guys here, but maybe just look at the top 40. But I really hope QJ gets some more opportunities out there on the Chargers. All right, let's take a look at tight end. All right, Kelsey. Travis Kelce. I'm working on you. I actually have Kittle. I started Kittle in my Scott Fishbowl League, and he might actually be tied in 1 this week. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the numbers. I haven't looked at the PPR numbers for the week yet. But I know Kittle got me like 30 points in the Scott Fishbowl League, so that was nice. Andrews, another one I like. Solid. Hawkinson, shootout. Waller, I don't know what we're going to do with him the rest of the season. I might drop him down somewhere. I don't know what Daniel Jones is going to be doing with that. Goddard, Ingram, Laporta. Laporta, I still like, man. He's, like I said last week, top 10, tie in the rest of the season. He's getting those targets, earning them, featured. He's the guy. Pick him up. Hunter Henry. Mac Jones, man. He's made Hunter Henry a top 5 tight end. He's going to use him again today. He has to against the Jets. See what happens. But I don't know. That defense is pretty strong against receivers and tight ends. I'm not sure what they're going to do. Anything after maybe 5 or 6, 8, I would say is really tough. It's hard. Tight ends is rough. All right, we'll keep. Scroll down here some more. I don't think I'm going to start Zach Ertz this week as well. I know he's been getting a lot of targets. But, playing that Dallas defense, man, I don't know. I don't really trust it. I mean, we saw them get a 0, the Giants, and Waller didn't do nothing. We'll see what happens. But he's a sit for me. Might be a surprise. Kincaid could be something. Jake Ferguson. Pretty much it. They're tight end for today. All right. Let's go back here. All right, let's look at the defenses here. Top 10 defenses in the NFL right now. All right, San Francisco, you saw already. Dallas, they play Arizona. Oof. New England and New York are playing each other. Top defenses here. And some of the worst offenses as well. So it'll be a nice outing for either of those teams on defense. It'll be tough to see what Garrett Wilson does, see what Zach Wilson does. It'll be tough to see what Mac Jones does, Hunter Henry, Rondre Stevenson, Kendrick Bourne. I don't know what's going to happen there. Cleveland Browns, and they're going to be playing the Titans this week. Cleveland top 5 tight end or top 5 defense. I have them all pretty much all my teams. Ravens playing Indy, Buffalo playing Washington, Philadelphia playing Tampa Bay, New Orleans Saints are playing Green Bay, Washington Commanders are playing Buffalo. All right, top 5 run defenses here. So here's what I'm concerned about Ford. They've allowed 103 rushing yards and 2.6 yards per carry. They're the number 1 rushing defense in football right now. And then, on the other end, Cleveland is number 2. So I don't know what Derrick Henry's going to do, but as Derrick Henry does whatever, he doesn't care. I'm not sure if Cleveland's going to just keep stuff in the box and force Tannehill to throw. That's probably what they're going to do. That's what I would do. So maybe DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks maybe have better games, but maybe they clamp up as well on Tannehill and I don't know, Cleveland just win down. Tampa Bay Bucks are playing Philadelphia. I'm a little cautious to say start Gainwell or Swift, but I mean Swift should be nice in the passing game. I'm not sure it's going to happen in the running game because Tampa Bay's Buccaneers are very good against the run. Philly, they're also playing Tampa Bay, so look at Rachaad White. Not sure what he's going to do on the ground, but he's also very good in the air. So it might be another solid flex again this week. And the Ravens are going against Indianapolis. Zach Moss, he's been getting 70% of carries and all the targets. Minshew, he might be either giving it to Pittman or giving it and dumping off to Zach Moss. I actually like Zach Moss this week. All right, pass defenses. Arizona, can't really start Marquise Brown. That's why I'm low on Zach Ertz as well. Cleveland Browns, already mentioned that. We'll see what happens there. I'm not sure. They're very good defense across the board. New Orleans Saints. It could be that they clamp up Jordan Love and they're forced to use the run game, so it might be a good start for A.J. Dillon, but I'm not sure what's going to happen yet because A.J. Dillon didn't look very good last week, and he was getting everything. He didn't look very good. Panthers playing the Seahawks. This is why I'm going to pick Kenneth Walker on my top 10. He should be getting a lot of run game against Carolina. Falcons are playing Detroit. Um, might be a nice one for Gibbs based on paper because Atlanta's pass defense is very good. All right, take a look at some of the worst run ones. All right, so Pittsburgh, they're playing Las Vegas. Jacobs, I'm high on. Bengals, so Rams, I'm high on Kyren Williams this week. Minnesota Vikings, Chargers, so fire up Joshua Kelly. Miami Dolphins, fire up Javonte Williams. Should be nice on the ground and in the air. And, yeah, fire up Christian McCaffrey against the Giants. Obviously, we saw that. Worst pass defenses, Tampa Bay. So, yeah, in case you lost Joe Burrow, pick up Baker Mayfield for the week. It's a good, nice matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Chargers, fire up Kirk Cousins, Justin Jefferson. And here's why I like Thielen this week, right? So Seahawks have allowed 325 passing yards and 71% completion rate. That's pretty good. Maybe Thielen, outscores his projections for the week. Maybe gets 13 points, which is pretty nice. And Baltimore, it could be a nice outing for Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson. Bears, man, they're bad. And Mahomes is just good. Mahomes. Fire up Kelsey, fire up Mahomes. All right, boomer bust picks for this week. Mahomes, T-Law, Tua, Cousins, Lamar Jackson. Could pick up Baker, Jordan Love if your QBs are injured. Right, so if your quarterbacks are injured, pick up Baker, pick up Stafford, pick up Jordan Love. Some busts for the week: Fields, Zach Wilson, Kenny Pickett, and Daniel Jones. I had to start Daniel Jones in my Scott Fishbowl week because you can't trade, and there's no other quarterbacks available. I was going to start Browning as well, so I had to start Jones. Did not do anything really for me, but thank goodness Kittle actually went off. All right, here we go. Boom picks are Jacobs, Etienne. I'm going to go with Hall just because they have to use Breece Hall against the New England Patriots team here. They're going to shut down Zach Wilson. They have to use Breece Hall. Brian Robinson Jr. also has a nice matchup against the Buffalo Bills. Kelly, Raheem Mostert, and Javonte Williams should be good as well. I'm high on Kelly, Mostert, and Javonte this week. I'm starting Mostert in my home league on my Dynasty League, and Javonte Williams in pretty much all my leagues on redraft, as well as some of my Dynasty leagues. Some busts this week. I guess Aaron Jones is injured. Either way, I wasn't going to be high on him because he played New Orleans. Jerome Ford, I don't think he's going to get 13.2 against Tennessee. It's crazy. Pacheco, 14.1 or 14.4, against Jacksonville. I'm not sure. I know he's dealing with that injury right now, but that's still pretty high even healthy. So here's a tough one, right? So ESPN is high on Madison, and I get why. So they're playing Chargers, and the Chargers are one of the worst defenses against the run in football. But they just picked up. They just went and got Cam Akers. Cam Akers, not great, but they're kind of both Jags, but I don't know what the split's going to be. All right, Miles Sanders as well, 15.7 against Chicago. That's not right. Miles Sanders, and they're playing. I don't think I just seen this one. They are playing Seattle. Yeah, so they're playing Seattle, and Seattle was, very good against the run as well. I'm lower on them. All right, we'll just continue. All right, and Tyreek Hill, 4 wide receivers. Zay Flowers, I picked Keenan Allen, Mike Evans, and Nico Collins. some busts this week, I think, are going to be Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Garrett Wilson, maybe Pittman, and Devontae Smith. So Jamar Chase and the Bengals, I don't know what's going to happen with them. Just be conservative. Don't rely on that projection too much because both of them are playing on Monday, and we're not really sure what's going to happen with Joe Burrow. I think he's going to be out, but we still don't know. Some potential ones, Garrett Wilson, he's playing, in New England. I don't know if he's going to get 14 this week. Pittman, I think they're projecting him to get 15.5. It's kind of high. Not sure we're going to trust Minshew as much. And Devontae Smith, I'm not sure what's going to happen with them as well. I think last week Nick Sirianni said he wants to get more involved with A.J. Brown and get A.J. Brown a lot more targets. We saw, I don't know if you see the video of A.J. Brown getting upset with Jalen Hurts for not getting the ball. So he's going to want the ball. Nick Sirianni is going to feed him. Once Nick Sirianni says we're going to get them involved, and he does. Look what happened with Swift last week, right? They said we're going to get Swift involved. And dude had like 20, 27, 28 carries. I had him in my Scott Fishbowl league, and he got like 42 points. Just carries, targets, and got that touchdown at like 150 plus yards. It's crazy. There we go. And tight end picks. Kelsey, Andrews, Laporta, Ingram, Hunter. Pretty standard. I think they're going to be the guys again this week. We need to stop putting Dalton Schultz at like 8.9 or like 9.5. He's not a good tight end. He has not been a good tight end. I'm going to say that, but today he's probably going to score a touchdown. Why? Because he's just out there, and they don't respect him because he's not a very good route runner, not very good athletic. He's just the other guy that's open. He gets confused that people think he's good because he's on Dallas. When he was on Dallas, he was like the third option, and everybody was covering CeeDee Lamb, and he just happened to be open, and Dak Prescott loves tight ends. Dalton Schultz is a Jag, and Ferguson is also a Jag. It's just the fact that they play in Dallas, and they're in this scheme. The Texans have not shown that they are tight end scheme friendly. Maybe today, because they respect Nico Collins and they respect Robert Woods. Maybe Schultz just is the other option, the third guy, and he just gets open and he gets a touchdown or he gets more targets. I don't know what's going to happen there. And Njoku against Pittsburgh. And Njoku, we got to stop putting 8. Like these projections on the tight ends they're just too high. Pitts, he hasn't done anything this year. We got to be realistic on him. I still love Kyle Pitts, the talent, but that scheme is bad. Arthur Smith hates it. I don't know why. He just hates it. Zach Ertz, he's playing Dallas, man. 9.2 is aggressive against one of the best defenses in football in pass and in rush. I'm not sure what they're going to do. I know Diggs is injured right now, but I think Gilmore is going to be in Marquise Brown, and they're just going to stuff in the middle and see what happens. Also, Dobbs is not an elite quarterback, so I'm a lot lower on Arizona as a whole than it looks like ESPN. All right, and some of your defense options for this week. I had a question this week. Who would I rather have, New England or Seattle? So New England could be, and they are. They're top 5, top 10 defense. So you can hold New England for the rest of the year and be fine and keep starting. But since Seattle has that nice matchup against Carolina, and Andy Dalton, and that offense is bad, you could have more upside and probably more potential with the Seahawks and more safety. But New England is New England, and they're a good defense regardless. So something to think about. Whoever sent me that question, if you're watching, there you go. Some other ones. Cleveland's still available on waiver. You guys, we got to pick up the Browns. Yeah, you can start them this week and pretty much every week after this. Let's see who else is available on waivers too, right? I know Jacksonville is available on waivers as well. You can pick them up this week. They have a nice matchup. Their defense is okay. I expected a lot more this year out of Walker, but it's kind of been a little bit disappointing. I hope he increases his sack rate this year and it's better. He's like the most low key number one overall pick I've probably ever seen in maybe like past 5 or 6 years, maybe even 10 years. People forget that Walker was the one pick. Everybody just knows Aiden Hutchinson is going off on the Lions, but people forget Trayvon Walker was actually picked over him. Shoot for that upside with Walker. Hopefully, Jags actually do something this week. And that's pretty much it. Hope everybody has a nice week 3. Hope we win this week. Feel free to ask me any questions on my Discord, my Twitter, DM me any questions. And if you haven't already, like the video, share the video, subscribe if you're new. Love having you guys here. I'll be doing more videos. I have another one coming up next week when we do waivers, and I'll be doing these regularly. Feel free to shoot me some Dynasty questions as well. I'm a really big Dynasty football person. I love college football. Maybe I'll do some more Dynasty content later down the road. But, right now it's redraft season. I hope we win this week's and hopefully make you 3-0 this week, if not 2-1, or maybe it's your first week this week and get a first win. All right, thanks for joining, everybody. I appreciate you. That being said, I'm out.